Disasters related to animal slaughter.
Japan. Livestock and fish slaughter. 7.5 billion tons of fish are killed and consumed annually in Japan, a country with the largest amount of fish consumption per person in the world. Thousands of dolphins and whales are also killed each year, many of whom are slaughtered along the Pacific coast. Related disaster. On March 11, 2011, the Kohoku 9.0 earthquake struck, one of the 5 most powerful since records began in 1900, causing a tsunami that reached as high as 40.5 meters and traveled as far as 10 kilometers inland after striking the Pacific coast. Cost: 15,505 deaths, 5,386 injured, 7,305 missing, 300,000 displaced in the Kohoku region. Financial cost forecast at more than $150 billion, one of the most expensive disasters in modern history. Note, many villages that suffered the largest human losses had previously been engaged primarily in fishing and whaling, including Minamisan-riku, Keisenuma, and Ishinomaki.
Alabama, USA. Livestock slaughter. Alabama is the U.S.'s third largest poultry producer with 1 billion chickens slaughtered annually. Alabama's cattle industry generates $2 billion in income per year. Related disaster. On April 27, 2011, the U.S. South was hit by the deadliest tornado event since 1925, with 173 tornadoes in 14 states reaching up to 322 kilometers per hour. Cost: 280 deaths, 1,700 injured or missing. Financial cost: $5 billion. Note: at 236 perished, livestock-concentrated Alabama had the most deaths.
Texas, USA. Livestock and fish slaughter. Texas is the nation's largest producer of livestock, with the industry garnering $8.8 billion in 2009 alone. The state is also the largest producer of sheep and cattle for slaughter, with 20% of the U.S. cattle market. Related disaster. Nearly 13,000 wildfires began in November 2010 and continued to burn through July 2011, consuming over 3 million acres, with fires burning from border to border by April. Firefighters from over 43 states assisted in efforts to bring the blazes under control. Cost: 2 firefighters were killed, with financial cost estimates as high as $500 million. Note: the fires were exacerbated by a widespread and prolonged drought, allowing them to spread into normally wet and humid areas, while also continuing to rage through the beginning of the hurricane season in summer 2011.
Queensland, Australia. Livestock slaughter. Queensland, Australia is the nation's largest producer of beef and the world's largest exporter of live cattle. Ipswich, Queensland is the site of the nation's largest meat processing facilities, in which 3,200 cattle are killed each day. Related disaster. December 2010 to January 2011. Heavy rains led to a series of floods described by one official as being a disaster of biblical proportions. Cost: 44 people dead or missing, over 200,000 people were displaced. Financial costs of $32 billion.
Christchurch, New Zealand. Livestock slaughter. The Christchurch area's largest industry is animal agriculture. It also contains the nation's largest slaughterhouse, where 8.5 million young lambs are massacred annually. In addition, the highest volume of dairy products in the country are processed there, with $164 million in annual sales. Related disasters. 1. September 4th, 2010. 7.1 magnitude quake in Canterbury. Cost: more than 100 people injured, with significant damage to homes and other buildings. 2. February 22nd, 2011. 6.3 magnitude earthquake in Christchurch, aftershock. Cost: 181 deaths, 2,000 injured, thousands rendered homeless. Financial cost: $12 billion. 3. June 13th, 2011. Christchurch, 6.3 magnitude quake, aftershock. Cost? At least 46 people injured, with further damage to structures weakened in the original quake. Aftershocks still continue today. South Africa, livestock slaughter. As part of the nation's agricultural industry, some 13.8 million cattle and 28.8 million sheep are killed annually. In Limpopo, the hunting of wild animals accounts for 70% of the province's yearly tourism revenue. Related disaster, December 2010 to January 2011. Flooding in 8 of South Africa's 9 provinces left 4,000 square kilometers of land submerged. Cost: 136 deaths, 13,000 houses destroyed, 8,400 people forced to evacuate as the government declared 33 disaster zones. Financial cost of $2.3 billion in damages.
Brazil. Livestock slaughter. Brazil is the largest global exporter of beef and the third largest beef consumer in the world. There are at least 40 million cows and 35 million pigs slaughtered annually in the country. Related disaster, January 11th through 12th, 2011, heavy rainfall in Rio de Janeiro and surrounding areas causing mudslides and flooding. Cost, 902 people killed, over 20,000 people homeless. Financial cost of $1.2 billion.
Issue Qinghai, China. Livestock slaughter. In Qinghai Province, China, Issue County produces over 1/4 of all the meat including yak, Tibetan sheep, Issue horses and goats. The processing of yak and Tibetan sheep meat and dairy products comprise the main industries of the region. Related disaster, April 14, 2010. 7.1 magnitude earthquake in Issue County, China. Cost: 2,700 people died, with 270 who were missing and more than 12,000 injured. Over 85% of homes in the epicenter region collapsed, leaving 100,000 people homeless. Nearly all schools in the county were destroyed or deemed unsafe to enter, with 95% of the schools in neighboring Chengdu County also damaged.
Honduras, and Guatemala. Cost: worst floods in decades, over 100 deaths, tens of thousands homeless, 1.2 million affected.
Do we really gain economically with the animal industry? Or are we losing all the time?
Be veg, go green to save the planet.
For more details, please see www.suprememastertv.com/SOS.